Good afternoon everyone and welcome to Sandy Park for today's Allianz Premier 15s clash between the Exeter Chiefs Women and Wasps Women. Conditions here in Devon are glorious this afternoon, literally not a cloud in the sky, and alongside me a former Wasps favourite and England Red Rose, Claudia McDonald. Hi Claudia.
Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well, and this is going to be a very exciting game. I think it's perfect conditions for rugby today.
Certainly are. Quick rundown of the teams. Starting with our visitors at fullback Susie Flowers, 14 Kirsty Hillier, 13 Molly Saunders, 12 Ellie Lennon, 11 Polly Roberts, 10 Gemma Jo Linkins, 9 Tess Brawnerova, 1 Danica Wilmore, 2 Alana Bainbridge, 3 Andrea Stock, 4 Shia Pinnock, 5 Nicola Beat, 6 Chris Blanco, 7 Helene Coe, and 8 the captain Liz Crack. As the Exeter Chiefs Women take to the field, led today as always by Poppy Leach. They line up as followed: Laurie Kramer is at fullback, on the wings Katie Buchanan and surprisingly Kate Zachary, showing that she's Miss Wonder Woman yet again. In the centres Nancy McGillivray and Gabby Cantona. Liv McGovern is at 10. A return to the starting lineup at 9 for Brooke Bradley. In the front row Sylvia Tarani, Emily Totosi and Talika Menin. As we say, Poppy Leach is packing down in the second row alongside Nicola Friday. And the back row today, Abby Fleming, Ebony Jeffries and Rachel Johnson. On the bench for the Chiefs, Clara Nielsen, Abby Middlebrook, Charlie Jacoby, Maisie Allen, Gabby Semth, Mary McDonald, Robin Wilkins and Laura Sheehan. Our referee in charge of today's proceedings is Catherine Ritchie. She will be assisted by Simon Adams and Chris Bartlett. And as we say, conditions are almost glorious. And what are we expecting, Claudia?
Oh, I think, look, Chiefs haven't had the best couple of games recently. You know, we're obviously at the back of 2 losses against Saracens and Bristol, but I think we're going to have them coming out absolutely firing today. We've got a class team out. I think Wasps also, you know, they're heading towards the end of their last season in the Premiership, and they're going to be putting all guns blazing, putting everything out on that pitch, putting their bodies on the line. So I think we're going to have a real competition.
So play underway, and not the best of starts there for the Chiefs. Knock on in midfield, which will give Wasps an attacking scrum just inside the Chiefs 22. As you say, Wasps pulling out of the Premier 15s. As a former player, sad to see. You know, it's happening at men's and women's. Established teams dropping out of leagues.
Yeah, it's incredibly sad. I mean, people build their lives around what club they're playing for. It's not just about the club. It's also about the friendships that you make. You've perhaps moved your family to where that club is. They mean so much to the players. So yeah, it's incredibly sad to see Wasps and dropping out of the Prem for both the men and the women, and obviously players having to find their feet at new clubs. So hopefully a lot of these players will see successfully transition to new clubs, and we'll see them still out on the rugby pitch.
Wasps managed to just about hang on to that scrum as Brawnerova now sends the fullback Susie Flowers wide on this right touchline, but she's bundled into touch. A good double tackle there, but lively opening. But that scrum looked a little ominous. It was going back at a rate of knots, but Wasps managed to pick it up. Yeah,
great work there from Liz Craik at 8. You know, often we find her in the front row, but today she's playing in the back row. So yeah, great work from her to dig that ball out, get it moving, and then the speed from Susie Flowers to get around the edge. Not sure I'd want to run into Kate Zachary playing on the wing.
Ball goes in, and from Emily Totosi, found by Poppy Leach. She makes 5 or 6 yards, aided by her fellow forwards, and now they drive forward with quite a gusto there. They've made a good 10-15 metres and it's still rumbling. Brooke Bradley's at the back demanding the ball now. She wants to unleash that back division, but the forwards are saying, hang on a minute, we're keeping on to this one, and it's going rumbling forward. And the crowd here are clearly seeing the efforts happening. Susie Appleby just to our left saying let's play, and Brooke Bradley snipes this time. She's got Zachary outside her, Zachary in space, one to beat, and lovely dummy from Zachary, and over she goes. Try time in less than 2 minutes. Claudia.
That's an excellent try from Kate Zachary. You know, she's very composed on the wing. I think you can put that girl basically anywhere on the pitch and she'll play well. She's got the absolute gas and the speed to finish that. That's a huge try, you know, out from the halfway line. But the vision from Brooke, the width from Kate Zachary, Brooke just challenging that last defender, making a 2-on-1, and then an easy, you know, put Kate Zachary away. She just does a little bit of footwork, uses the outside, uses her pace. It's not bad for an 8 playing at 13 and now playing on the wing.
Just tell me a little bit about Kate Zachary, because she's like Captain America, Wonder Woman, whatever you want to call her, but she can play literally anywhere on the park.
Yeah, I think Captain America's probably about right. I've seen her parents in the crowd today, so maybe she's putting on the extra sparklers, trying to impress them, keep them happy. But yeah, she's a brilliant player. She's a great leader within the group. She really galvanises the team, and her work rate and her the effort that she puts in on the pitch, I think really brings the team up and challenges everybody else to keep up that momentum and that work rate as high as well.
And there's Liv McGovern to make it a full house straight away for the Exeter Chiefs. So 3 minutes on the clock. Exeter Chiefs 7, Wasps Women 0. Perfect start for Susie Appleby's side. You talked about it there, a couple of indifferent results over the last couple of weeks, Claudia, but the chance to get back to winning form and just rediscovering some of that momentum again is key, especially with Gloucester next week. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, we've spoken about it as a squad. We've said if we're going to lose matches, we better do it now, because as we get to the real tail end of this season, losing is not really going to be an option on the cards if we want to really go out and put our name to try and win this league. So hopefully, as long as we learn lots from what's happened, I think we'll be good. And look, we're doing it here. We found the space, the handling. Just a little error there, but the handling to get it outside, the bravery, the confidence, Chiefs really showing what they're about, and I think if we see more of this, we're going to be a really difficult team to beat.
Indeed, and the Chiefs now just ripping possession away there through Sylvia Tarani. Bradley releases the other winger this time. It's Kate Buchanan. She's brushed off one, brushed off two, and she's galloping in under the sticks. Over she goes. Try time again.
What an absolute brilliant score that was. I mean, it all came from the kick-off. First great receival, great carry up the left-hand side, and then Chiefs just looking to play. Gabby Cantona makes a slight break through the middle, but then still looking to offload, keep the ball alive. But let's talk about that rip from Sylvia. She's done it countless times since she's been back playing for Chiefs, and she's done it there again. I'm not sure how she gets the ball out of contact, but she seems to tackle someone, and then out she comes with the ball charging at the defence. So absolutely outstanding turnover there from Sylvia, and then the pace from Katie Buchanan to finish it off was just brilliant. So hopefully Gabby Cantona now can settle this one over and put another 2 points on the board.
I don't want to say it, but we're 5 minutes in and it's 12 points already on the scoreboard. Looks ominous for Wasps, who come into the game 16 games with just 1 point. They've not had the best of years. As Cantona steps up 2-3 paces, right for the kick, and over it goes, and we're now 14 to the good. Dream start, Claudia.
Yeah, a brilliant start from Chiefs. I think already they look settled. The crowd here, I've got to mention it, the crowd here is absolutely brilliant. I mean, there's so many people that have turned up to watch this game. It's sunny, it's a beautiful day to be in the stadium. The noise that the crowd are making, I think, look, Exeter Chiefs, they thrive on being at home. They thrive with this crowd behind them, and I think that's exactly what we're seeing. They're composed, they're looking for those offloads, they're keeping the ball alive, and they're creating opportunities.
As a visiting player that's been here in the past, we get better crowds than pretty much everyone else in the league. It's quite intimidating, I'd imagine, as a visiting player coming here and seeing 2,000-3,000 people at a time.
Yeah, absolutely it is. I think it's really difficult as an away team to come here. Because you're not used to it, I guess. You don't go to away teams all the time and have this much noise against you. So it certainly has a massive impact. I think for the home team, it brings us up, it puts us forward, it gives us a little bit more energy. I certainly know that when you've made that break, you're even more determined to finish it off when you can hear everybody cheering you and shouting you on. But yeah, as an away team, it's really difficult. It's really difficult to come here. Not only are we a bit of a trek away, a bit of a travel for teams, they've got to travel all the way down here. They're probably staying overnight. They're out of their comfort zone of their own homes, and then they arrive and they've got this huge crowd that are noisy, that are loud, that are really supportive, and they've got to fight against them as well as the team on the pitch.
Back to the action, and that's a better line out there from Wasps. They find their front jumper, and now they'll come out to their back division. They snipe up through the middle. Cantona, though, brings her opposite number to the floor, as now they go wide again. Trundling up, and they've met with a double hit there. But crucially, Wasps keep hold of possession as they go to ground, and the scrum half, Tess Brawner over, goes in, and that's a cut line through the centre there. Brawner over goes in again, fires it out. Good ball retention here from the visitors, who, as we say, 14 points down already with just 7 minutes on the clock, but they're making a fist of it as they go wide again, out through the hands of the centre, Ellie Lennon. Now they're breaking through. Oh, that's good meterage there. Slower ball for them, but they're not afraid to have a go, are they, Claudia?
No, absolutely not. There's been some huge carries in there. Shia Pinnock going through the middle, bumping off Abby Fleming, and I tell you, she's not an easy person to bump off. She's a really physical, contact-loving player. So that's a huge carry from her. And then Susie Flowers, again, I think with the break that Laurie Kramer had to tackle.
Slow possession here for Wasps, but they are making slow progress towards the Exeter Chiefs line. They have a penalty advantage, which the referee, Catherine Ritchie, comes back for now. So they're 5 metres from the Chiefs line. She's just going over for a word, maybe. No, thought she was going to have a quick chat with Simon Adams, her touch judge on the far side, but just a couple of players down on both sides. Good response from Wasps, though. You know, they could easily have just gone, oh, we're 14-0 down, but they've responded really well. Yeah,
I think that's credit to the resilience that we can already see in this squad. I mean, as you say, like, they've picked up 1 point in the entire season so far, but they've come all the way down here. They've never stopped working. They train really hard, from what I'm aware of. They put everything out on the pitch every single game, and I don't think their coaching staff or their support team could ask anything more of these players. They've been a real credit to the Wasp shirt, and I think we're seeing that resilience and that toughness in this team right now, because, as you say, 14 points down, 9 minutes in, easy to sort of go into your shell, but that's absolutely not what they're here to do.
No, that's right. And, the situation they're in, like you say, fair play to them. They've turned up. There's times when sides are like bottom of the table, 1 point on the board. It's the last kind of few weeks of the season. They're struggling to put a side out, but here they are. They're giving it a go as well. Fair play to them. Not missing any action as the Chiefs are just getting some treatment down there. It looks like Nick Friday. Hopefully she's not broken her nose again, which she did a couple of weeks ago.
Hopefully it's still in the middle of her face.
I think she was quite worried after that. Her looks taking a bash, quite literally, but she's just getting tended to there.
Hopefully just some little minor fix-ups and they'll be good to get on going again. It'd be interesting to see what Wasps do with this penalty they've got, whether they go for line. Their line-out's already working for them quite nicely from the couple that they've had already. So do they go for that? Having said that, we just mauled against them 30 metres up the pitch, so are they going to try and maul it? They are right on the line. It looks like maybe they're going line out, maybe they're quick tapping. I think line out.
Yeah, ball in the hands of the fly half Gemma Jo Linkins on that far side. She is going to kick, as Claudia quite rightly said, to 5 metres out, and it will be Wasp ball. So hooker Alana Bainbridge with the ball in hand. Just getting a final word of the call from Danica Wilmore, who goes in at that front pod. And it looks as though it's gone to that front pod. It does. Taken by the captain, Liz Crack. And they are inching their way towards the Chiefs line, but good repel there from the hosts. And it's Morova calling it back. It's gone to floor. It's knocked on, and it will be a Chiefs scrum. Good D there from the Chiefs.
Yeah, great D. I mean, I think that was a key moment in this game so far. This is where Chiefs are going to come under pressure in the next couple of games to come as well. We give opportunities by giving away penalties or so, and we give teams a 5 metre line out. We've got to be able to defend those. We've got to be able to front up physically and push teams back and not allow their maul forward, and that's exactly what we did there. Forcing the knock on there, also a great addition to that. But the power and the strength from the maul to push them back and keep them where they are is brilliant. So hopefully we can build on that now, get the ball back and get back down the field.
Despite the 2 defeats recently, speaking to Steve Salvin in the week, he was confident of the mood. He says the mood hasn't changed all season. You win 13 on the bounce, you lose 2. You're the same group, he says, and that's key going. You've got to keep that morale high and go for it over these final weeks of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what makes Chiefs pretty special, is that we're a team hugely based on culture, and that really shines come win and defeat. We're the exact same squad, everyone cheering each other on, everyone puts the same amount of effort into training regardless of what's happened at the weekend. So real credit to how we can improve throughout the last couple of games.
Chiefs looking to go expansive here with big carries initially there from Zachary and then Dalika Menin, but the referee says that's a penalty. Brooke Bradley getting tempo into the game. I think she goes on her own before going to deck. There she gets support. And it's Nancy McGillivray that's gone in to act as scrum half. Now it comes out wide through the hands of Liv McGovern to then Nick Friday. She's just made it over halfway. Now McGillivray goes down this narrow side to Zachary. Good footwork there from the American. Looks for support. McGillivray straight in there. So's Kramer. Before Bradley comes back out to Fleming, to McGovern, to Cantona. Double teamed in the middle there before it eventually goes to ground. Bradley goes to try and get that one. Eventually picks up. Swamped by 2 or 3 Wasps tacklers there. And eventually turned over. And, well, hey, there we go. Don't see that often on the pitch. One of the front tight forwards going for a kicking game. But Bradley tries to box and she's deflected it back. Comes back in, thankfully, into the arms of Kate Zachary. She eventually goes to floor. McGillivray over the top. Now Poppy Leach takes it up. Chiefs have actually lost some earlier gains there. Bradley needs support. Menning goes in. Setting up that Caterpillar ruck now. Bang on the 10 metre line. Bradley has a bit more time this time. High hanging kick from her. And it's chased by Rachel Johnson. So he thunders into a Wasp tackler and eventually it's a knock on. All a bit harum-scarum there for a second.
Yeah, a little bit scrappy from Chiefs there. I think we go back a few phases and we found the pinch point. Gabby had the ball when we played out the back. Gabby had the ball. If we'd managed to just shift it past that little point, I think we would have been running in clean space. So it is there. The spaces are on. It's just about, we got to do those basic things first, get that right, look after the breakdowns, create fast ball, and then we can play on top. When we play on top, that's when we're going to make line breaks and score tries.
Scrum to the Chiefs, bang on the Wasps 10 metre line, about 10 metres in from this near touch line. As in it goes, referee says we'll set that one again. Dark arts to the front row. Keep yourself away from that, don't you?
Yeah, that's not my preferred position. I think a little bit, you've got to be quite aggressive. You've got to have a little something about you to play in the front row, haven't you? And that's not necessarily where my strengths lie. I'd rather stay away, be on the wings, run away from people.
Best way. Yeah, best way, clearly. As we say, great support in here. Probably 2,500, maybe 3,000 crowd here, looking at the whole grandstand virtually packed here. As we try again on this scrum. Bradley with the ball in hand. It looks a better engagement there, but the thrust goes on from the Chiefs. It's at the base with Rachel Johnson. She picks up, feeds Bradley out to McGovern. Nice switch there to Zachary. Now Kramer comes into the... Oh, lovely scissor move there. Before it releases Buchanan, referee says forward pass though.
Oh, that was so
Intricate.
close. That was so close, though. I loved the interplay there between Laurie Kramer and Kate Zachary. Again, they're finding the pinch point. They're finding where the space is. That space is out wide. They're getting the bite in the midfield. It's just then about that execution. That's all that was. A slight forward pass there from Kate Zachary. But again, they're doing the right things. It's just about those little tiny details that we need to get right. If we can do that, we're going to create more opportunities and finish those opportunities too.
Oh, Wasps with the turn of the scrum this time. Just as we say, a few handling errors just crept in the last few minutes, but nothing too serious. Chiefs, as we say, 14-0 up with 17 minutes on the clock here in Devon. A glorious Devon. Referee says they've gone too quickly there, and it's going to be a free kick to Wasps. Be interesting to see if they go for another scrum or whether or not they send the big spiral bomb up.
I think it was Liz Craik that put the kick in last time, wasn't it? So it looks like they might quick tap and play here. And they're off now. Danica Wilmore with the carry. She's an excellent player in herself. Come across from the army. Played at Wasps for a long time.
Wasps working it through their hands there. And now it's fed out to their back division. Oh, well done. Oh, referee says that. Oh, I didn't think that knocked on personally, but Chiefs will take it.
I think it dribbled along the floor, if I'm honest.
Right.
But having said that, the speed from the scrum half, Tess Bronnerova is working really hard to move that ball quickly. The breakdown work from the Wasps is really, really good. So they're getting quick ball. It's just, again, slight errors. Maybe it's the excitement of the occasion. Maybe it's the crowd noise. Whatever it is, if they can tighten that up again, I think a bit more possession from Wasps, and they could also create some opportunities for themselves.
That's the voice of Claudia MacDonald, one of 3 former Wasps players in the current Chiefs side, the others being Clee Maloney and Adele McMahon. Adele getting ever closer to fitness, we hear as well, so that could be a real boost coming back into this playoff stage.
Yeah, that's so exciting. You know, Adele, or as we call her, Tricky, is a brilliant player. She absolutely loves the contact side of the game. Her defence is her sort of the corner post of her game. So it'd be exciting to have her back, chopping people and putting the pressure on.
Chiefs just trying to work their way through the phases. Referee says they're going to come back. Offside penalty by the looks of it. Just outside the Wasps 22.
Totally unrelated. I think it's cornerstone, isn't it? Not corner post. I think I said corner post.
It's not a penalty, it's a scrum either. So we've both got something wrong there. Who cares? We're enjoying ourselves in the sun here, Claudia. That's the main thing. Just looking ahead to the upcoming weeks, obviously Gloucester away next week, and then a semi-final, which more than likely is going to be Saracens either home here, which would be key, or up at the Stonex. But 2 massive tests on the horizon, aren't they? Yeah,
huge games. We got to focus on the first one first. We got to win this one to start with. So I think all heads that are on this pitch are going to be focused on this game for now. But then after that, as you say, we've got Gloucester, a huge game for us. A top of the table clash as the table currently sits.
We'll come back to that as Rachel Johnson picks up off the base there. She's made good yards. Now it's Friday with a huge carry right through the heart of the Wasps defence. Referee says that's a high tackle. We'll come back. And the Chiefs will have a penalty 5 metres out from the Wasps line. Liv McGovern kicks that one straight into touch. Here we go. We know exactly what's coming here, don't we?
Yeah, I think so. Based on that maul that we had previously, driving it halfway up the pitch, I'd like to hope that Emily Tosi at the back of this maul is going to be scoring this try pretty easily. And we'll be looking at another 5 points on the table.
Referee says that one's gone too quickly. She wanted the gap sorted a little bit better there. Totosi will go in and get the ball again. Maybe a different call, who knows? But that earlier maul that came pretty much 35 metres down the pitch was quite ominous for Wasps. But now the Chiefs only have to go 5 this time. They find the middle of that line out with Poppy Leach. Now the black mass assembles and now they'll drive. There's very little support there and over they go. It's a 3rd try of the afternoon and I think it's Emily Totosi.
I'm not even sure Emily Stacey got the ball at the back. I think the ball actually moved too quickly. I'm unsure who scored it, but I thought I saw Emily at the back sort of scrambling after the ball. But I'm sure we'll see in a few moments. Here we go. Rachel Johnson scored that one. But yeah.
Rachel Johnson, there we go. They both got blonde hair.
A brilliant try from Chiefs. I think that's exactly what we needed. We need to settle. We need to go back to basics occasionally. We said going into it we thought that would be an easy try for us, and that's exactly what it is. And that's what we're going to need. As we were talking about those next games coming up, that's what we're going to need against Gloucester. We're going to need to be able to go to the corner and put those over, and those be points on the board that we definitely have. Because when it comes to a team against a team like Gloucester, your opportunities that you have to score are far less, and you need to really capitalise on them. I'm not sure what's going on with the kicking duties. Maybe Liv and Gabby are sort of playing rock, paper, scissors for who kicks each one. But I think this is Liv taking this one.
Yeah, it's definitely Liv as she's sizing this one up. Is it because it's a longer kick maybe?
Oh, it seems like an almost identical spot to the one before, but they've both slotted it. So
there we go. You score, we score, they say. So points are plenty here. The Chiefs 3 from 3 on the tee and 3 tries to the good with 21 minutes on the clock. It's the Exeter Chiefs Women 21, Wasps 0.
It's a nice kick-off from Wasps. They've just gone to the other side this time. I think perhaps they've kicked it straight to Kate Zachary the last couple of times and perhaps been burnt by some open side breaks. And hopefully Chiefs are going to do the same thing here. Just keep moving the ball.
Yeah, and not your best tactic normally to kick to Kate Zachary, one of the best in the league anywhere. But literally, commentators curse there. I've just said she's one of the best. Oh, refs just play on. Very surprised that it seemed to go forward, but Poppy Leach takes the ball forward. Brooke Bradley goes in. She needs support. She needs to be quicker. As it's fed back to McGovern now. She'll right-footed kick downfield, and it's gathered in front of us as they go back inside to the fullback Susie Flowers. She kicks it downfield. Kramer's going across field to gather that one. The Aussie grabs it and then will set off. Nice little goosey step there. We've obviously been watching the rugby guy too much. And Chiefs go in. And it's a good carry there from Menin this time. About 5 metres inside her own half. Bradley goes down the narrow side this time. Kramer has people outside her but takes on 2. Referee eventually says that's crossing. No. Comes back for offside. Another Chiefs player down, but not missing too much here at the moment. It looks like Delika Menin down at the moment. Just talk to me a little bit about coming into the Chiefs this year, Claudia. You know, you'd obviously come up against the club in the past, but what's it been like for you coming to a different environment and different players and a League of Nations almost? Yeah,
I've absolutely loved it, to be honest. It's exactly that. It's a real hot pot of different ideas, different styles, different players from all over the world, and I think that's one of the strong points of Chiefs. Everybody comes in with different experiences, and that means that they can bring so many different styles of rugby to the table and different ideas around how we should play. You've got ideas of Zachary and the Americans that have been playing for a long time, a bit open style. You've got Laurie Kramer at the back, who loves to play off the cuff, loves switch lines, using footwork. And then you've got, English, Irish, Welsh, Italian. So almost every style of rugby that you can imagine is on the pitch. And I've absolutely loved it. I think it's really embracive of all of that. It's an incredibly welcoming squad. Incredibly welcoming. The fans have been incredible as well. And I've absolutely loved it.
Great stuff. Well, back to full complement again, and McGovern kicks that penalty down onto that right flank on the far side. It'll be a Chiefs line out midway inside the Wasps half. Chiefs 21-0 to the good, 3 tries already. First coming early doors from Kate Zachary. The second one was, I'm just trying to remember my notes here. Second one was Katie Buchanan on the other side, and then the third one just a moment or so ago from Rachel Johnson. That's a cracking line out as finds Friday now. It releases Cantona into midfield to Ebony Jeffries, bundles past 1-2 players, goes to floor. Bradley very quick with the hands there. McGovern releases McGillivray. She releases Zachary in space, and the American is tearing towards the line, and over she goes again. Bonus point already. Too easy.
Yeah, Zachary really had no right to score through those 2 defenders. But again, she just backed herself. She keeps the ball alive, keeps it in 2 hands, uses a bit of footwork. Which just, as a defender, it's just really difficult to defend. You've got somebody moving left, right, not running a direct line. So again, great movement, great pass and delivery from Nancy to get the ball there. But that carry from Ebony Jeffries through the middle. I mean, we talk about super strengths in rugby, and that is exactly what hers is. Running off 10, running at defenders. Something about her just makes her very untackleable, if that's a word. And she runs those lines so brilliantly.
And it's back to kicking duties for Gabby Cantona. So I think you were right. They're taking a you take one, I'll take one approach. But it's bang in front of the post. Gabby just weighing this one up now. Wasps trying to get a few tactics on board, and also clearly some water. It's baking hot day here in Devon this afternoon as Cantona right for the kick, and that's 4 from 4 in terms of kicking for the Exeter Chiefs today. 28-0 to the good, and a dream first half so far.
Yeah, again, going back to this tail end of the season, we're going to need some kickers. Those conversions, those 2 points are going to be so important going forward. If we've got penalties and we've got kickers confidence to put the ball over, again 3 points on the board, really, really important going to that tail end of the season. So, perhaps a tactical decision by Susie. I think certainly a clever one to have Gabby and Liv both putting them over, both building confidence and repetitions of in a high. Perhaps this isn't the most high stakes game, but with the pressure of the crowd and everything else, it's a great opportunity just to strengthen that skill.
That was another thing Steve was saying in the week about there's a few changes in the side today. People like Brooke Bradley coming into the side, just getting game minutes under them. They want to be battle hardened for these last couple of weeks of the season. There's no point going into a Gloucester or a Saracens game and undercooked.
No, I think that's another great thing about this Chiefs squad is the depth of players that we have. You've regularly got the whole squad competing for who's going to be on the pitch. When that team sheet comes out on Wednesday, you never really know what it's going to look like, and part of that is because you could almost put any 15 out and it would be as strong as another. So it's a really it's a hugely exciting position for any Premiership team to be in. But so today I guess has created a chance for some players to get a little bit more game time than perhaps they do in other games, and I think it's really exciting. We're also trying out different combinations with Gabby at 12, Nancy at 13 and Kate Zachary on the wing. I don't think those three have ever played together on the pitch, so again just gives an opportunity for people to get some game time under their belt and as you say, be battle hardened for those last few games of the season.
Chiefs have been forced into an early change here in this first half with Dalika Menon, who we said a moment ago was down, and she's had to come off, and she's been replaced by Charlie Jacoby, who has made her impact straight away with that scrum. As turnover ball for the Chiefs, and Kramer is away. She has Zachary outside her if she needs her. Oh, she's timed it to perfection, and that is the hat-trick for Kate Zachary. Try time once again. Wow.
Yeah, we were just talking about strength in depth, and we've taken one international prop off and put another international prop on with the strength of Dalika and then Charlie coming on. As you say, huge impact straight off the bench from Charlie. She hasn't played the last 2 games, been selected for this one, and what a massive statement to be making as a player. Straight on, pushing a scrum back straight away. That puts us on the front foot, and then that last finish from the backs, Laurie Kramer putting the back burners on, going down the field, creating that final 2v1 with the fullback, and then Kate Zachary just again with the gas and the finish, outpacing any winger on the pitch. As an 8, a 13, a wing, I'm not sure what position she plays, but she clearly is capable of playing any of them.
So again, more alternation on the alternation is that a word?
I'm not sure. I've made up a few words already today, so go with it.
Okay, I'm going with it. Anyhow, it's Liv McGovern who is taking this kick about 10-15 metres in from this nearest touchline. Chiefs with 5 tries to the good, a hat-trick for Kate Zachary, and McGovern just weighing this one up. Crowd is a hush here at Sandy Park as she stepped right footed kicker, and that looks as though it's on the money as well, and bang, over it goes. Wow, this is dream stuff from the Exeter Chiefs at the moment. McGovern there with that kick. Put yourselves in the Wasps' shoes at the moment, Claudia. What are they saying behind the post there?
Yeah, I think unfortunately they've been in this position before. I think they would have known coming down here, this is going to be it was always going to be a tough place to come to. You come into Exeter Chiefs that have won a lot more games than they've lost this season. I think we've only lost 3 games in the entire season, and then you're facing Wasps. They knew it was going to be tough. Look, it looks like their spirits are up. You can kind of see Liz Craik there sort of dancing around in the middle of the pitch. But yeah, I think they've got to go back. They got to take the small wins where they are, the huge hits they're putting in, keep putting those in, and just try and correct the little mistakes that are happening. The few missed tackles perhaps out wide.
McGillivray took that kick off Friday, and the Chiefs looked to go through their run again, but Fleming knocked on in midfield, and it's turnover possession here for Wasps. Referee says play on, and they are now camped under the shadow of the home posts as they go wide. Tight head there, Andrea Stopp taking the ball forward, eventually goes into ground. Bronnerova now feeds it out to Lincoln. She has players outside her before the ball goes to ground. From her over back inside again. It's a simple play from Wasps, but they're not really making any real significant dents into this black wall of defence as we speak, and they go back on the inside this time through Wilmore. Bronner over comes to the right, out to Lincoln's again. That's Coe who tried to take that ball, but she spilt it just outside the Chiefs 22. To be fair, they're still giving it a good crack at Wasps. You know, they may be 35 points down in 32 minutes, but good fight from them. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I like how they're trying to play. You know, they're keeping the ball alive. I think one of their coaches, Ollie Bishop, was there when I was there, and he always had us practicing the offloading game and trying to sharpen those skills up. And I think you can certainly see that he's continued it with this squad too. You know, the offload, I think it was from... Oh, it must have been Andrea Stock. I think it was Andrea Stock, a lovely little offload to Danica, which just kept the ball alive, kept the ball going forward, and just keeps challenging that Chiefs defence. Obviously, there the knock-on creeping in, but you know, you can see the starts of it working.
As I say, we're not missing any of the action here at the moment. We've just got one of the Wasp players down. Just been tended to. Quick rundown of those tries earlier. As we say, Kate Zachary with a hat-trick so far, Katie Buchanan and Rachel Johnson with the other. What about yourself, Claudia? How are you on the mend at the moment?
Yeah, on the mend. Obviously, would rather be out on the pitch at the moment, but picked up a few niggles. So spending a lot of time in the gym, a lot of time with physios, perhaps more than I want to be. But yeah, working hard at it, and hopefully I'll be back out on the pitch before the end of the season. That's the plan anyway. My plan anyway. Great stuff.
And obviously other things that have happened this year with like the World Cup and the Pac-4, and I talk about, you know, some of the Canadians that we've got here, the Americans. The Canadians, you know, they've been here part and parcel for a lot of it. Emily and Dalika, we had McKinley Hunt here for a while as well. Gabrielle Senft is here at the moment. It's great that you can see different country people. You know, they offer something, different cultures, all sorts, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's why it's you know, I spent 4 years growing up in Dubai, and what was so brilliant about there was the sort of how international it was, and people sort of come and go, and people are used to you know, spending a lot of time with the people that are there, and then getting used to embracing new faces. And I think that's what Chiefs is about. You know, everybody's here, but not many people have lots of family here, which means that Chiefs really becomes your family when you move down and play for Exeter, and that's really, really special. You know, you've got the Canadians, yeah, absolutely, they know each other, but other than that, you know, they've met all these new people. I'm looking forward to you know, post-playing at Chiefs. I'm looking forward to the next World Cup. You know, hopefully we're all involved and we'll all be playing against each other, and it could be quite a lot of fun.
Great stuff. As we say, as the packs go down again, and it's scrum time to the Chiefs. Bradley feeds that one in, and it's at the tail again from Rachel Johnson. She picks up, and she's just going to charge straight down the middle before feeding her compatriot Gabby Cantorna. She looked for support and an offload. Nobody there just at hand, but Wasps seem to have snaffled that up, have they? Yep, as it comes back out and eventually into the hands of Shia Pinnock. She drives that one forward. She's met straight by Cantorna, who looked to atone for her earlier error, and now it's the captain, Liz Craig, who tries to take it on, but referee Catherine Ritchie says that's a knock-on.
Yeah, the energy on the floor, I think, from Alana Bainbridge was just brilliant there. You know, loose ball, Brooke tries to kick it back to get it away from clasping Wasp's hands, but it's Alana that actually reacted first and dived on the ball. So perhaps, you know, that's something that we need to bring as Chiefs, you know, a little bit more energy to win that ball back if we're going to lose it. But, you know, that initial break from Gabby Cantorna was there. You can see her looking for the offload. Normally, she should have someone on her shoulder. So perhaps if we can just tighten that up a little bit, we can turn a 10-15 metre break into a full line break and potentially a try scoring opportunity.
Again, scrum time. We've had a few of these in the first half so far. Just looking on our stream, we've got quite a lot of people listening to us today, Claudia. We're quite pleased with that, and some people in Japan and all sorts. So,
well, it's amazing to have everybody.
I know we've had two former Japanese players here at the club, Sachi and Kaneko, who are very popular amongst players and staff and fans alike. They really offered something, and it just shows how the game of rugby can be taken around the world. But here we go, back to the action here. Friday takes that one up. Bradley feeds it out to Cantorna this time. Good hands from there. Releases Sylvia Tarani back in the side last week after her Six Nations injury issues. Now Leach will feed it to McGovern. Referee says crossing, and it will be a penalty to the visitors. Good enterprise there from the Chiefs, though.
Yeah, interesting. I'm not sure who was crossing there. Perhaps we can watch it back on the replay.
So we're seeing Tirani take the ball in, and then I'm just looking there. Didn't seem to be anyone, but no matter. We'll play on here, in the ball in the hand of Alana Bainbridge, who you mentioned a moment ago was really battling around on the deck. It's a big thing I noticed with the women's game. The breakdown in particular is a hotly contested area. You know, the men's game, it's more go in, clear out as quickly as possible and try and get it moving. But the breakdown here, and that's where somebody like Tricky is really good, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we've got a couple of players that are really good at challenging those breakdowns. You know, both of our Irish, Cleena Maloney and Edel McMahon, both really good over the ball, challenging those breakdowns, causing a mess. You know, it's not always necessarily about winning the turnover, just about disrupting their ball, slowing it down. I was told a very interesting stat yesterday, actually, that Exeter Chiefs have the fastest breakdown in attack, and they create the slowest breakdown for their opposition. Which is, you know, that's a formidable stat as a team. But interestingly, we compete at the least breakdowns of all the teams. So perhaps we can bring that back to the team room, and perhaps we can start, you know, challenging for to win a few more balls back at the breakdown.
In a lot of ways, kind of mirroring some of the what the men do in that respect, and that's where you're lucky, aren't you? You do have that input from the men's coaches, which some of the other clubs don't have. What have you learnt from working with the likes of Ricky and Rob Hunter and people like that this season? It must be great, isn't it? Yeah,
it's been brilliant. We play almost an identical system to the men, which is great, because not only can the coaches come over and coach us, but the transition is really easy and really simple, because they're using the same terminology, the same wording to coach us around the same moves and everything else. So yeah, it's been awesome working with those coaches. You know, they're really insightful, and they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun working with Ricky as a scrum half, and with Nick.
There's got to be games in there somewhere. He loves a game, does Ricky?
He loves a game, loves a competition. We're always competing for something or other, a coffee or whatever it is. Yeah. But yeah, it's always game space, which for me is perfect, because I don't know if anyone knows, but I'm a little bit competitive. So any game is sort of my cup of tea.
Back to the action there. Wasp just had a momentary thing there from Gemma Jo Linkins as she tried to chase through a kick, but Katie Buchanan was back to cover that. The dropout's gone out, and it's now back in the hands of Wasps as they look to attack through the middle through Danica Wilmore. Good carry there. Offside, the Chiefs look there, but Brawner over. Snipes one way, goes the other, and creates ruck ball as they come out wide again, this time into the hands of Andrea Strock. Brawner over comes out to Linkins this time. She steps inside, looks for support, and eventually goes to ground. Abby Fleming doing really well there to bring her to the floor, and they'll come back on this near side out to Lennon. She goes in to support Brawner Overs, back in again. Now inside to Blanco, met there by two Chiefs tacklers. Not really going anywhere, crabbing across the field. Linkins again this time, met by Fleming, and then Jeffrey's referee says enough's enough, and we'll come back probably for that earlier penalty. Just having a quick word with the Wasps captain Liz Craig to see what she wants to do.
I guess what I like there from Wasps is they had the penalty advantage, but they didn't try and do anything wacky or weird or strange or out of the game plan. They kept hold of the ball, and they just looked for an opportunity. They looked to break down the Chiefs' defence. You know, quite often we waste a penalty advantage by a speculative kick to the corner with no one really chasing, or you know, putting a chip on over the top, which ends up being quite easily fieldable. But yeah, so I liked that Wasps, you know, had the penalty advantage. They knew they had a free shot, but they just stayed composed, stayed on the game plan, and just kept on carrying hard and seeing if they could, you know, find a chink in the armour, I guess.
So Wasps just getting their final instructions. They're going to kick this one probably deep into the 22. Just looking ahead to the playoffs and that, it looks like it's going to be Gloucester, ourselves, Sarries and Bristol that will make up that four. But just talk to me a little bit about the league as well, and that top 4 or 5 sides now are a gulf ahead of some of the others, and the league is getting stronger, isn't it, though?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think the league's gotten stronger each year that we've played in it. I think, previously you'd go away for internationals and the international would be significantly harder, but now we're at the stage where actually every Prem game that you play week in, week out is almost as hard as a load of the international games, which is credit to the quality and the talent that's playing in every single team in the league. But yeah, there is a little bit of a break in the Premiership, where there's sort of those top 5-6 teams that are competing. But having said that, there's certainly no easy games. You have to be on your best for every single game, which again is what we want as players, but also as spectators. You want to be watching competitive games of rugby week in, week out, and that's where the league's getting to.
Ball's taken at the front there by Craig, and now it comes back outside to Blanco. She charges sideways before feeding inside to Lennon. Lennon goes to ground. Brunner overtakes it back out now to Blanco again. Lovely offload there in the midfield. Good defence from the Chiefs. So again, Wasps seem to be cragging sideways. Now they'll go out to Lincolns. Now they go out wide through Flowers. Good hands until, again, I put the kiss on it, but the referee says play on. Steve Salvin will be definitely pleased with how well this defence is holding up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got double shots going on, which I think is a big part of what we work on. So you've got some big hits going in. It's just about that, can we go and get them and get the ball back now, rather than just letting Wasps carry on playing. The ball is coming loose. We've got to be the first ones to react to that. Already that hasn't happened. Another ball loose there, but it's Wasps that are on it first, and we've got to be the ones that own that space and get that ball back.
Again, another scrum. We've had quite a few of these in this first half, but the Chiefs will be certainly pleased, as we say, as we head towards half-time. Only a few minutes left at best in this first half. Chiefs lead 35 points to 0. Hat-trick of tries from Kate Zachary, the highlight of this first half so far. As they go towards half-time, Claudia, what do you think the messages will be that Susie and Steve are going to say to the girls in the change room?
I think it's going to be about tempo. We've got to put more tempo onto this. If we're forcing Wasps to make mistakes, we've got to be the ones capitalising it, being the first ones to claim the ball on the floor, and that means we can be playing on the front foot. We don't need to have the scrums. If we can get hold of the ball, then we don't need to go from a scrum. We can just play the advantage.
McGovern out to Cantona. She releases Zachary. Right-footed kick there from the American, and she's chasing after that one. Gets all her teammates on side as Flowers goes across to cover. She fires it out to her teammate just outside of her, Molly Saunders. Now they come back inside. Craig now will carry it up for the visitors. She's leading by example certainly there, the Wasp skipper, and now it comes back outside, out to Lennon, left-footed kick downfield, carried back in, so it'll come back for a Chiefs line-out. She needed to keep that in play, crucially there, but Chiefs will have a line-out just inside the Wasps 22.
Yeah, I think a little bit of miscommunication there. Perhaps the 10 didn't realise that she was outside the 22, or at least the breakdown was outside the 22. So an unfortunate error from Wasps. But yeah, absolutely. I think Chiefs just need to keep the ball moving, keep ball in hand, look after it, build the phases, and I think we'll end up in the 22 more often than we don't.
Tutosi takes that one up from there, took charge at the back of that ruck. Now Bradley digs it out, finds Jacoby. She goes to ground. Bradley digs that one out again. Lovely run round from Leach, who releases Tirani, and it's another try. Bang on half-time. Claudia's clapping alongside me here. That was great stuff.
Yeah, that was really lovely. What I love is how Poppy Leach moved the ball there. She dummied the outside lift. I'm not even sure there was anyone on her outside. Dummied the outside, and then it made a little break because the defender bought the dummy, and then she gives the ball actually inside to Sylvia. So I really love that. A bit of movement from Poppy. And then Sylvia's there under the post scoring a try, which is brilliant to see. She's an absolute workhorse. She played a huge amount of minutes last week. And was absolutely brilliant against Bristol. So it's great to see her scoring, and great to see this team, really putting the phases together and building momentum. I think that's exactly what the message is going to be at half-time, which I think is going to happen just after this kick.
Gabby Cantona just weighing this one up, so it's the two kickers that have been sharing it in this first half. I think this will probably be the last action and a half as Cantona kicks it right-footed. The flags go up. And as we rightly said, a dream stuff from the Exeter Chiefs. That's 6 from 6 tries. Cantona with 3 conversions, McGovern with 3 conversions, 42-0 at the break. It's been a fantastic first half. Claudia, just wrap it up for me.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff. I think, look, we've seen some great stuff from Wasps too. They're fighting hard, they're getting into the right positions. For them, it's just about looking after the ball, trying not to, lose the ball in contact and keep the ball alive with those offloads that they're showing are really working for them. For Chiefs, they're showing what this team's about. They're showing the resilience. They're showing that they're back together as a squad after 2 hard losses. And I love the way that they're playing. They're playing expansive rugby. They're looking for the wings. Kate Zachary scoring 3 tries already shows that expansiveness. So I hope we see more of that. Perhaps more tempo in the second half and just keeping the ball alive, moving it into the space.
That's the thoughts there of England Red Rose and Exeter Chiefs star Claudia McDonald, who will be joining us again for the second half here at Sandy Park. But for now, we will sign off and see you in 10-15 minutes. Thanks very much. Welcome back to Sandy Park for the second half as the two teams take to the field. Doesn't look like there's any changes on either side at this stage, other than the first half one where Charlie Jacobi replaced Dalika Menin. So half-time score here at Sandy Park in this Allianz Premier 15s clash is the Exeter Chiefs 42, Wasps Women 0. Alongside me in the commentary box again for this second half, England Red Rose and Chiefs star Claudia MacDonald. You've been down pitch side there at half-time. What have you learned? What gems of insight have you got?
What I've learned is the crowd are absolutely loving it. I was mostly interacting with the crowd rather than the players themselves. They were hidden away, getting a bit of shade and cooling down, I think, in the team room. But yeah, the crowd are loving it. They're loving the tries and they just want us to keep scoring them.
Good stuff as Laurie Kramer gets us underway for this second half. As we say, Chiefs kicking towards Cornwall this first half, 42-0 as Lincolns tries to carry out a defence, but is met again, not for the first time this afternoon, by a black wall of defence, and up goes the Chief. Charani is up very quickly there to smash the Wasps number 7, Elaine Coe, to the floor, and it comes back to Lincoln's left-footed kick from her downfield. She ain't going to find touch. Kramer gathers and will set off, and the Aussie is waltzing her way. Waltzing Matilda, we'll say, eh? Oh, lovely little footstep. Wow, what a try. She's on her feet next to me, Claudia MacDonald. Wow, wow, wow.
I love that. Laurie Kramer isn't someone who scores very often, and that was brilliant. I mean, that's just her bread and butter, isn't it? A little bit of footwork, finding a gap, jinking through and then under the post. She still had a bit of work to do. The 15 was still there, but she slows her feet, goes again and scores under with a lovely little dive. She's always looking for those brilliant photo opportunities, and she's got one just there through the post. I think we're going to see that photo up on social media pretty soon. But yeah, that's brilliant. I love that.
You're going to have to say waltzing Matilda there, aren't you? That was unbelievable, the Aussie there, as she got Exeter's 7th try of the afternoon, with McGovern just weighing this kick up now. Bang in front of the post.
I think on the reverse of that, we've got to be careful of those inside lifts and those inside steps. The 10 there, dummies the kick and goes through on the inside. Wasps have made a few grounds with inside balls and little inside steps. So we need to have our inside defensive people pushing up and taking that space away from them, so that if anyone does play on the inside, we hit them as they catch the ball. So I think, for a little improvement in defence, that's what we need to shape up on. But in terms of attack, that was just brilliant. A lovely little finish from Laurie Kramer, capitalising on a shorter kick, great feel of the ball, and then through she goes.
So it will be the fly half, Gemma Jo Lincolns, who gets Wasps back underway, and it's fielded this time by McGovern, and now taken out to Tirani on that far side. She's been everywhere this afternoon as the Italian. Great to see her back, as we said, injured in I think the first or second Six Nations game earlier in the season. Now the Chiefs are away again. There's Tirani straight back into the action. Bradley has options either side, and she goes out wide to Johnson. Great footwork there from the American, and releases her compatriot Zachary, and we know what kind of tends to happen there, but she was finally cut down just outside the 22, and the referee says the Chiefs held on in the tackle there. Good defence from Wasps, because that looked ominous once again.
Yeah, brilliant short serve. It didn't look like much was on there, but just the outback ball, and then Rachel Johnson again, another American back row, put it on the back burners, showing how quick they are. I mean, I don't know what they eat and how they train them in America, but they come out with all the pace and power that any player could ever want. So yeah, lovely break from Rachel Johnson, and then the calm-headedness to then be able to get the offload away, keep the ball alive. We said it, we wanted to see more tempo in this second half, and I'd say that's probably the messaging that went in, and that's already what we're seeing here.
Wasps have this line out as the Chiefs have Gabby 7th warming up in front of us. I can expect to see her. Another one that will need some much needed game time in her lungs. I know she's been out doing a lot of spear fishing recently with Hayden Thomas, one of the men's first team coaches, and several of the girls going with but she likes her diving by all accounts.
Yeah, I think she's both a scuba diver and a free diver, as Gabby Senft. Has been catching some lovely seafood that they've been enjoying in their house. I'm still waiting for my invite, but I'm expecting it to come soon. I'll let her know.
Anyhow, Bronner over, back now to the big number 5, Nicola Beat. She takes it up. Bronner this time out to Linkins. Now they go wide again with the hands of Flowers. But she's swamped up there, and as Claudia said, getting that turnover possession quickly off the floor makes a huge difference as Leach goes to ground there. Bradley with the ball in hand. Clara Nielsen on, I didn't realise that. She's come on at the break for Emily Tatusi. McGovern out to Ebony Jeffrey. She bursts through. She's got McGillivray outside her if she wants her. Times the pass perfect. Try time yet again. Great work there from the Chiefs, and it's raining tries here in Devon.
That was brilliant. I mean, that's what we were talked about, turning those 10-15 metre breaks, those half breaks into full breaks and try scoring opportunities, and that's exactly what that was. You know, Nancy's there to ruck over if Ebony takes it to floor, but Ebony again doing what she does best, running those excellent hard lines off of 10, you know, bouncing off tackles, and then again she engages the 15 and Nancy's there on the shoulder, quick ball and Nancy's scoring under the post. A lovely bit of interplay between the two of them. We saw something similar scored last week. I think it was Flo Robinson that ended up finishing it off against Bristol, but you know, that is really what Chiefs want to be doing. They want to be using players to their super strengths, getting them on the ball, making the breaks and then finishing them off with the speedsters.
As a ripple of applause you can hear is Rachel Johnson coming off and Gabby Senth coming on. But back to the on-field action there, and it's Gabby Cantorna who's weighing up this one to see if the Chiefs can maintain their 100% kicking record so far in this game. It's been fantastic so far, and up steps Cantorna, right-footed kick, and drills that one. The sticks go up. 56-0. It's a long old day now for Wasps in this heat, but it's a bit ominous for them as well when you see the likes of Gabby Senth coming off the bench, Clara Nielsen, international players coming off the bench. Just shows the strength of your squad at the moment, Claudia.
Yeah, again, and even with that, you've got internationals still not even making the team sheet. You know, we talk about Clara Nielsen coming on. We've still got Cleena Maloney, you know, fit, healthy, being rotated out for this game. You know, still so much strength and depth in almost every position at this club. It creates some really good competition in every spot, and as you say, you never know who's going to get the shirt, who's going to get put on the bench, and it means when we do make those substitutions, we're going from power to power.
And it's also bringing training quality up. It's bringing, you know, competition, as you say, in training, doesn't it? Every session now, you're going to have the eyes of the world watching you, whether it be the coaches, you've got the GPS systems, everything's looking at you in training, and you've got to perform.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's as players, that's exactly what we want. You know, that's how we're able to put the quality out on the pitch, because we're training at such high quality and you know, so competitively throughout the week as well, that it's no surprise that when it comes down to Saturday, everyone's raring to go. They want to keep the shirt if they're in it, and if they're not, they want to be training and proving that they should be. So yeah, we're in a very fortunate position. You know, some players might criticise it, saying, you know, you shouldn't have internationals not making a team sheet or sitting on a bench. But I think, you know, when you look at how Exeter are able to play as a result of it, I think it's certainly beneficial.
And we're talking as well with people that aren't in the 23 today. I looked down there at the bench at half time. Hope Rogers, you've got Tricky, you've got Merrin Deutsch, Panache Muzambi.
Yeah.
the list
Lindy
is
van der Velde.
Exactly.
Yeah, the list is really ongoing. There's so many.
Your good self as well, Claudia. I'm not gonna leave you off that list. It's frightening, the talent that we've assembled, and all in such a short space of time. You know, this is year 3 of the Exeter project, and you know, I know Susie found it incredibly tough because it was COVID times at the time when she was trying to build a team. Hang on, I'll come back to that in a moment. As Wasps are on the attack, and Bronner digs that one out, feeds it back inside to Pinnock. She makes yards just outside the Chiefs 22. Now out Linkins, tries a chip kick, not her best. Clara Nielsen gathers, but knocks on in the process. Just going back to that, how Susie had to assemble that side in COVID, and you know, people said it's a League of Nations, but the way the setup is in England at the moment with a lot of red roses at certain clubs, she had to find the best talent available because the brief to her was make Exeter competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she worked incredibly hard to put together the squad that is here today, and it's you know, it really hasn't looked that different. There's not been a huge amount of movement. in the last 3 years in terms of players, and we talk about all the international talent, but there's also a huge number of like university and local girls here that are developing and just going from strength to strength. The likes of Maisie Allen, who last year didn't necessarily make a starting team and this year has barely missed a minute for Exeter Chiefs, recently won Players Player of the Season and Under 23 of the Season, and was up for Premiership Player of the Season at the RPA Awards. I mean, just an outstanding player, and she is, Exeter. She's from Dorset. She lives in Exeter. She goes to Exeter University. Susie absolutely went after some internationals. You need that. You need that experience, that guidance. That talent on the pitch. But you also need the other girls. The other 30 girls that make up the squad that down at Exeter are such high calibre and high quality that's what really pushes the competition in this team.
And you being in the mix here now, how much is the likes of Poppy's role at the university? How important is that in terms of the future and the development of homegrown talent that we need? As the rules change.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, we talk about the transition between like the men and the women, so that coaches can come and go, but it's the same between the university and Chiefs. I think Poppy's built a system there very similar to the way that Chiefs play as well, and that aids the university girls. It means that when they're up to standard, when they've got enough game time under their belt, they can come to Chiefs, and actually everything's not so foreign and unknown. It's the transition again is much easier. They recognise faces, so not only are they coming to a Prem club where they know who Poppy is, they're also using the same sort of terminology, which is really beneficial for them, and it means that she can also IQ different players and get them involved with Chiefs when they're ready.
Back to the action. Kramer there releases Zachary again on this space, and right-footed kick there from the American. She's chasing after that. She's gonna go inches away from getting her fourth of the afternoon. Claudia was up out of her seat again there. Is there no end to Captain America?
I think my reaction reflected the noise that the crowd made as well, as it didn't quite pull off. But again, we're showing different ways of attacking. Zachary putting it on the foot, just challenging that backfield space. She's got the 15 to beat. She's already beaten her ball in hand a couple of times. But perhaps in another game, another day, you don't beat the 15 and actually being able to put the ball on your foot and push it into the backfield and chase after it. Zachary shows that she's got the wheels to finish it. Just then it was just, that ball just sliding a few millimetres into touch. But again, another day that might come off, and that's a try for the try lights of the week.
A beaming smile from Sylvia Turani as she takes the acclaim of the Sandy Park crowd here. Fantastic shift there from the Italian, and she's been replaced by Abby Middlebrook, one of those players that Claudia was just talking about, homegrown, girl that's coming through the ranks here that has to bide her time initially, but then gets the chance to come into the first team ranks, and there straight away she's straight into the action. As McGovern to Jacoby now. She's making good yards and offloads to Jeffries. Goes to ground as hands to floor there, surely, but the referee says play on. Steve Salvin alongside me, the ex-assistant coach, thought exactly the same as me there, as Wasps somehow managed to keep hold of possession, and now it's been stripped back by the Chiefs. Bradley has it. Now they go wide. Fleming tried to offload that one, but Wasps have snaffled up the loose ball. Referee says play on. Bit scrappy play from both sides there. As eventually Bronner goes to kick. Referee will come back for the knock-on. All a bit harum-scarum, as we said earlier, but another scrum, not for the first time this afternoon, but good interplay there. And we were talking there a moment ago, Abby Middlebrook is a case in general of what you were talking about, Claudia. Yeah,
absolutely. She hasn't had a huge amount of game time this season. You've got Hope Rogers and Charlie Jacoby. Is it Charlie Jacoby on that side? No, sorry, excuse me. She's a tight head. It's Sylvia Turani on that loose head side, and then you've got Abby Middlebrook. And you've still got more players. You've still got Panache Mazambi in not making the team sheet today. Another Scottish international, and Abby, she's absolutely one of those players that has just worked her way into this squad. She turns up to every training session, puts everything into it, and then the last couple of weeks, she's had those opportunities and she's grasped them with both hands, and she's absolutely smashed it. So it's no surprise that we see her again on this team sheet today. With Hope Rogers out, that's created opportunity, as any injury always does. And I think Abby Middlebrook has really seized it and has just been brilliant for this Chiefs squad.
Nice insight there from Claudia. As we get back to the on-field action, it's going to be Lincoln's with this penalty just inside her own 22. Left-footed kick from her. She looks for touch, which she finds. Midway inside the Wasps half. Just coming up to 15 minutes played in this second half. The Exeter Chiefs leading 56 points to 0. Been ruthless in everything they've done so far as the Chiefs ready a trio of new faces for this final sort of quarter of the game. Halfbacks are going to change with Mary McDonald and Robin Wilkins coming into the fray, and also Laura Sheehan. Again, 3 internationals coming on, just underlines it all. And here come the changes. So just seeing who's coming off for the Chiefs. Katie Buchanan's one, Liv McGovern's one, and Gabby Cantorna's the other. So they're going to put Mary McDonald onto the wing by the looks of it, and move probably Kate Zachary inside. Yep. Kate Zachary coming to inside centre now. Another role change for her. You look confused?
Yeah, I am confused. I'm not sure who's playing where, to be honest. I'm with you on that.
Overthrow there as McGillivray. Now that's good hands from the Chiefs. Zachary out wide. Chiefs on the offensive now, and over goes she, and first touch of the ball. Try time. Inspired substitutions, I would say.
I think just about every sub that's come on there touched the ball. And not only is that going to be brilliant for settling any nerves that might exist, it's always good to get your hands on the ball really early on, whether you're starting, whether you're off the bench, just to get your head in the game. But that was as simple as it comes. Just hands down the line, engaging a defender, giving the pass when the time's right, and then Laura Sheehan just with the power and the pace just to put the ball over the line there. Great to see her scoring. She's another one that's had a tough season, not had too much game time, but again, seeing her out on the pitch, lovely to see her there, lovely to see her playing on the wing, and again scoring with the first touch of the ball is exactly what we want to see.
You may have looked confused with that whole team changes there, but boy, did they all come good there. Zachary coming into the centre and almost with her first touch in that position, setting up a try for the Irish winger. And it's another of the newcomers here now who will have the conversion, Robin Wilkins. Probably the toughest kick that the kickers have had so far today.
I think I've worked it out. Maddie McDonald is actually at scrum half, and Brooke Bradley, I think, is playing fullback.
We've seen our first miss at goal. Well, anyhow, 61-0 with 17 minutes played in this second half. I think you're right. Brooke Bradley.
Well, Laurie's still on the pitch though, so I'm not sure about that. We'll work it out. We just need a scrum, and we'll work out where everyone's playing. I mean, talk about versatility. You've got a couple of scrum halves on the pitch. You've got about 4 back rowers on the pitch. And we've still got a 1 to 15 out, so I'm excited by this.
McDonald gathers that one, feeds McGillivray now. And she's held up before eventually being hauled to the ground. Referee has to tell Wasps to release. And says, no, that was a maul. They've done well there of Wasps. Hugs all round. Poppy Leach arguing the case on behalf of the Chiefs there. But it's going to make no difference. We're not quite sure where she actually called the maul there, the referee, but obviously she did to allow Wasps to hang in there. But Warner over with the ball in hand.
For anyone interested, the back line is actually Maddie McDonald at 9. We've now got Robin Wilkins at 10, Nancy McGillivray at 12, Kate Zachary back at 13, Laurie Kramer and Laurie Sheehan on the wings, and Brooke Bradley gone from 9 to 15.
There you go.
Just to clarify any confusion.
Craik there with the pick up from the base for Wasps. She makes 5 or 6 metres, does well, and then it's fed out to the Wasps back division. Charge through there from Molly Saunders. She's being allowed to stay on her feet and just trot her way towards the Exeter 22. Brought her over back inside. Finds two Wasps players outside of her before it eventually goes ground. Leach is in there trying to dig that one out as a Gabby Semp. Nice switch play back inside. Brought her over, just directing operations from the base, and now she'll fire it out wide. To Stock. Brought her over again, digging in. Not really making any yards. And it's turnover ball. Great work there from Abby Middlebrook, who releases Leach. Leach to Fleming. Fleming to Nielsen. She's got Sheehan outside her. The flame-haired Irish winger. Just getting over to halfway now as McDonald feeds Leach. Now hands here. Wilkins. Not the best of takes from McGillivray, but Zachary's there to sweep up the loose possession. McDonald is in there again, but turnover ball. Referee says that's illegal though. It will be a penalty. Ref will probably just take time out. There's a Wasps player down. Can't quite see who it is at this stage.
I think from the looks of it, that's Hélène Cour, one of Wasps' French players, today playing at 7. But let's talk about that handoff from Laura Sheehan there, batting away a second row like she was a fly, sending her absolutely flying. I absolutely love that. You know, Sheehan's all about the power game as a winger. She's really strong, really quick athlete. But yeah, I loved seeing that handoff send in the Wasps. Number 5, Nicola Beat, flying backwards.
Line out ball, Clara Nielsen with it in her hand. Shortened line out, five strong line out, goes to the tail, finds her Ireland international teammate Nicola Friday. McDonald out to McGillivray. Now Zachary has a lovely loop pass out to Kramer, who has lots of space to gallop down that left flank. Kicks it inside. Oh, is it going to be too hard? Just. Great thinking there from the Aussie. She could see her two teammates rushing up alongside her, inside her, but just a little bit on that. And the Chiefs have the biggest dead ball in any club in England.
It is. It's a huge dead ball. It's a space that I think we need to exploit more of as a team. You know, this is our home ground. We're used to playing with a dead ball this side, whereas any team that travels to us isn't. And again, one of the strengths of Laurie Kramer's game is her kicking, and her ability to put it on the foot. But she's got even more power than I think she realises. But yeah, so that one just dribbling dead. But again, right option, different day. We get the kick right, and it's good to know that we've got that in the bank if we need it.
McGillivray tried to release Sheehan there, but she's brought into touch. Great work from the number 5, Nicola Beat. And it's a Wasps line out. Wasps with only 3 on the bench this afternoon. Izzy Jakes, Emily Tuck and Chloe Flanagan. It's going to be a tough afternoon for them with only 3 replacements to call upon. It's boiling hot out there. It was 24 in my car when I arrived, and I think it's probably got hotter since then.
It definitely feels hotter when you're running around a rugby pitch.
Recovery down at the beach tonight, will it be? A bit of cold water therapy.
I think absolutely. It's definitely a day for the beach, isn't it? One of the huge benefits of living where we do.
Referee says that's a legal play from the Chiefs, going in over the top after an Abby Fleming carry.
I think it was killing the ball. Unfortunately, Clara Nielsen just going off her feet in the breakdown. But again, we're showing that energy to get there and look after the ball and build the phases. So just a really small little error. If we can get that out, then we can get possession back and start scoring some more tries.
Indeed, that would be my only concern. That the penalties like that you can't really give away against the better sides. They'll punish you in situations like that. But today's a chance just getting that momentum back after those 2 defeats. 5 points certainly coming the way of the Chiefs this afternoon. That will keep you firmly in second spot and just probably 2 away from guaranteeing home semi, which is what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. It puts a little bit of pressure on the last game of the season against Gloucester. But if we can get 5 points today, that's what we're in control of. And that's what we need to make sure it happens.
Abby Middlebrook there feeds Clara Nielsen, and it comes out now to Jeffries, who's been here, there and everywhere for the Chiefs this afternoon. McDonald feeds it back out to Wilkins, right-footed kick down from the Welsh international. bounces in between two Wasp players who don't really take control of it, and eventually comes back to Poppy Leach. All a bit scrappy, but McDonald will eventually get it. Now they'll go wide again. Wilkins out to Friday. She's got a plethora of players outside of her. If the ball can come there, referee is playing advantage here for offside, I would say. Not rolling, sorry. McDonald out to Leach to Jacoby, and now it's out to Sheehan. Looked very busy since she's come on. Only been on 10 minutes, but a try already with her first touch. Leach inside, lovely pop pass there to Abby Middlebrook. Huge carry there from the young prop. Now it comes out to Wilkins. Chiefs just trying to work the numbers, and they have an ample Zachary out to Bradley. Bradley in space here. Nobody's going to stop her. Oh, what a finish. Take a bow, Brooke Bradley.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant finish there from Brooke. Again, a scrum half playing at fullback. She's got the pace to do it. She did it in the Allianz Cup and absolutely, had an absolute stormer back there. So it's great seeing her use that pace and that sort of ability in the wide channels to finish off that opportunity. Perhaps if she hadn't, she might have been in trouble there. She had a few options to pass to, but in the end she didn't need them. So a brilliant finish by Brooke. And again, look, we're talking about that tempo game. That's what Chiefs need to bring to this. If they can look after those rocks a little bit better. Maddie McDonald is there. She's ready to play the ball, but at the moment she's really having to dig for it. We've got Wasp players lying on our side of the rock, but we can expect that. Teams want to slow it down. That's what they're trying to do with their defence. So I think if we can clear up the breakdown a little bit, create a bit of a faster platform from which Mary can distribute, because that's where that opportunity just came from. It was three rucks in succession where we had quick ball, where we looked after that ruck well, and as a result we find the wide spaces and we find the opportunity to score the try. So if we can just do that, I think we're going to tick this scoreboard up even more.
Wasps with a trio of replacements there, so Izzy Jakes, Emily Tuck and Chloe Flanagan all coming into the fray. As the Chiefs look to go about their business once more. Wilkins out to Zachary, fires that one wide, says that one's forward, and we'll come back for a scrum in midfield to Wasps, who, although 68 points, are still very much fighting like troopers out there, so full credit to them.
Yeah, I think if you're just watching the game, you haven't really been paying attention to the scoreline, I don't think you would guess it had been as much as it is. Wasps have put up a real fight, and they're showing what they're about. That resilience. Why they're still in this league, why these girls want to be playing Premiership rugby, and really the quality of their coaching as well. That they're really putting a challenge out there, and it's tough. You're coming down to Exeter Chiefs again. We spoke about those internationals. It is really an internationally studied team with some excellent, young and upcoming talent. That is almost as professional as it gets in the league. As this was always going to be a really, really tough competition, but I think so far Wasps have been played really, really well.
So Bronner over with the ball in hand. That scrum goes in, and it's shot out the back, picked up by Helen Coe, who's gone to 8. Looks as though the skipper Liz Craig may have gone into the row now for the visitors. This is their best attacking position they've had of the second half so far, and there is Craig, the captain, who bundles 1, 2, 3 Chiefs tacklers off. Bronner over goes to the right, this time through Coe again. Again, just crabbing to the right with people outside. Looks to take on the Chiefs, but she's hauled to the floor on this occasion. Now they step inside again, still piling forward in numbers. Not taken, and Friday looks to mop that one up, which she does.
this is exactly what we wanted. You know, if a ball goes loose, this is what we said in the first half. A ball goes loose, we force a knock on. We need to get on that, and we need to carry on playing. You know, force tempo into this game. We're Chiefs are a very fit side, and they're good ball in hand. So I think the more we do that, the better the game for everyone.
Wilkins with that clearance, and it's dropped on that far right hand side, and it'll be a scrum. As we say, not for the first time this afternoon we've had scrums. Just over about 10-15 minutes to go in this game. Chiefs leading 68 points to 0. Following the game today, there will be the Exeter Chiefs Supporters Player of the Year will be crowned.
When's that, sorry?
Following the final whistle today. So the Exeter Chiefs Supporters Club are going to name their Women's Player of the Year.
Oh, wow, how very exciting.
Who is it going to be?
Oh, we got some close contact. I think Captain America is going to be up there, which is a very fan favourite. I think Flo Robinson has had an outstanding season. You know, she really is a sort of game manager and controller of the team. Oh, I don't know, it's going to be tough. You've also got Maisie Allen. She's already won under 23 and Players Player of the Season. Could she be getting a third award? A clean slate almost for her.
Yeah. Oh wow. That was thought that wasn't quite going to make touch, but it has. Poppy Leach just having a word with the referee. She wants a bit of clarification because I was confused what that last penalty was from, but the ref laying down the law to Poppy there. She's calling the team in.
Perhaps just a second to settle them. It's easy, I guess, to get away with yourselves in games like this where the scoreboard is so high, and I guess they just need to take a moment to settle themselves, go to the basics. They can bring tempo in, they can keep the ball alive, but that comes from hard carries first and looking after the breakdown. So if they can tidy up those two bits, keep the penalties out of the game, they'll be in a stronger place.
Do you think it's a team warning though that maybe there's a bit of chirp that some of the decisions because Poppy was clear there, she had to call the whole team in.
Yeah, definitely quite possible that they could be on a team warning. There has been a few penalties creeping in, but Poppy's got great control of this team, so hopefully she can show that the team can respond and we can win this ball back.
Danica Wilmore tries to carry that one forward for the visitors off that line out. Now it's Brawner over out again. Wasps just inching their way towards the Exeter Chiefs 22. The Chiefs are hanging in there on that, and they eventually win it. Great work. Just trying to see who it is.
It's the combined efforts of Abby Fleming and Poppy Leach by the looks of it. Clearly whatever Poppy said worked because they've responded with exactly that and getting that ball back. So hopefully a quick line out, get the ball back in play, and we'll get down towards that 22 and back to scoring ways.
Penalty for the Chiefs, which they kick up just shy of halfway on that east stand side. Clara Nielsen with its shortened line out. Chiefs are stacking the numbers up out back, and it's Leach who takes it. McDonald out to McGillivray. Now Jeffries with a huge carry, not for the first time, through the heart of the Wasps defence. Good support there from the Chiefs. McDonald has options to the right, one of which is Middlebrook, which she carries it up 5 metres or so before McDonald digs that one out. Wilkins looks for support, which she gets. Good hands there from the Chiefs. That's clearly not rolling away. Referee says play on though. Leach into Middlebrook again. Always willing to look for the possession there. Wilkins now goes wide. McGillivray to Brooke Bradley. Now Kramer. Can she turn on the afterburners? Makes 5 or 6 metres down that left flank, and McDonald goes in to dig again. Fleming goes to ground before McDonald again. Good continuity here from the Chiefs. They make it just shy of the Wasps 22 now. Going coast to coast. Wilkins to Jeffries. Knocked on in the tackle there, and we'll come back for a scrum. Really trying to stretch this Wasps defence though, Claudia.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've tied up those breakdowns a little bit. That's giving Maddie at 9 a slightly faster rock and slightly faster ball to be able to play with, which again allows us to play out the back. And you have your Middlebrook there in the middles, still having those strong carries, which puts us on the front foot, which allows, puts the defence on the back foot, which means that we're playing on top. We can put those out back passes on and get it to the edge. So it's really good to see Chiefs stretching it all the way from the left wing back to the right wing, and then back again, which is really good to see. It's exactly how we want to play the game. And then just a small error creeping in there. Perhaps we missed the opportunity to go out the back of the hard carry just that one phase earlier, but with this scrum maybe we'll win it back again.
Good carry there from Wasps off the base of that. Referee allowing play to continue as Bronner fires it inside down this near side. She's done well for the visitors this afternoon. Linkins with that left-footed kick, but that's straight out on the full, and we will come back for a Chiefs line-out.
That's really tough for Wasps there. They put in, they did really well to get that ball out of that scrum that was going backwards. Helen with a lovely carry. They're looking after the ruck, and then to knock it straight out, that just gives Chiefs an easy in, and now they're back on the back foot defending just outside their 22 again. So. It would have been good to keep that ball in. At least they get to put line speed on, put pressure on.
Clever short line out there from Nielsen and Middlebrook. Doesn't make quite the yardage they would have hoped, but McDonald fires it back inside to Charlie Jacoby. She's with rumbles that one forward to the 22. McDonald comes again. Middlebrook ever willing to look for work. Penalty to the Chiefs. They'll play this advantage as they go again. Knocked on in the tackle, but the ref will come back and I'd imagine kick to the corner here and then rumble it over. That's the tactic, isn't it?
I think that's exactly what we should be doing here. I think it's easy not to because of what the score is, but I think for where we are in the season and the fine-tuning that we need to do, this is a good opportunity to really practice that skill, to practice getting that ball in only 8 metres away from the try line, forming that maul and hopefully pushing it over. It's something that might be really important in the games to come.
Clara Nielsen with ball in hand. Chiefs full line-out. Taken, knocked on by Friday, and it's gathered up at the back there by Wasps, who will look to clear their lines. Bronner over with the box kick, does well. Sheehan is under it, we think. No, eventually comes back to Nielsen. And it will be the Chiefs back on the attack now. Missed opportunity there. Be one for the team to review in the week. Jacoby now takes it up. Has players either side of her, one of which is McGillivray. Now to Zachary, to Bradley. Bradley scoots it forward. Releases Kramer. Kramer, one to beat, back inside. And over we go again. And it's Brooke Bradley for a second time. Going in under the sticks. A nice finish there. Extends the Chiefs' lead to 73 points. The crowd are on their feet, and quite rightly so.
Yeah, a brilliant try. It's just the movement of the ball. Lovely distribution. The passes are each putting the next attacker on the front foot. Lovely accuracy with the passing. Just playing out the back. Again, if you've got a dominant carrier, if you've got someone like Charlie putting you on the front foot with an excellent carry, then that's your sort of signal to then play out the back and put it on the wings and just see what happens. And again, Laurie going around the outside, Brooke, and I think Kate Zachary again back on the inside asking for the ball back again. This time, use the inside pass and Brooks under the sticks once again. So a lovely bit of interplay from the backs, but again, it comes from those hard, powerful carries from the forwards that allow us quick rocks and allow us to move the ball to the wings on the front foot.
Not long left in this game, but the game clearly wrapped up for the Chiefs at 75 points to 0. Attendance just being announced here at the Chiefs, just shy of 2,000, 1,942. Tony Rowe, the club chief executive, down at pitchside there. He will be very pleased with this performance, and so too will the coaches to our left, Susie Appleby and Steve Salvin. They'll be glad to see their side back to winning ways and scoring tries, which they've been plentiful today. Kramer, though, on that far side, looking for more before we finish here. McDonald back inside to Friday to Jacoby, playing with the McGillivray now. Oh, lovely footwork there from the centre. She's got players either side of them, one of which is Bradley Collard, but no, she's able to offload to Sheehan, and the Irish winger has her second of the afternoon. There are Wasp bodies splintered everywhere on the turf, but the Chiefs are mobbing Laura Sheehan. It's another wonderful try.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I can hear Susie Appy behind me calling for the offside from the ref, and I tend to agree. I think Wasps have gotten away with quite a lot this game. You know, they have been offside. They've been on our side of the ball. They've not been rolling away, and I think they've actually been very fortunate not to give away far more penalties than they have. But, you know, when you've got players like Nancy McGillivray, we're talking about those young, up-and-coming players. She's one of those. You know, she's been in and out of England camps, this Six Nations, and she's just been outstanding. Plays for the under-20s. A really, really solid centre with good, cool head on her. And that's exactly what she did there. You know, it doesn't matter that they've got defenders in her face. She finds a little gap, goes through, and again, the options outside of her again. Brooke Bradley with the work rate. You know, she's racking up 80 minutes in this game, but the work rate is still there, the pace is still there, and then Laura Sheehan just for that final bit of spark out wide, and she scores it again. So great to see her name back on the back on the score sheet once again.
As the song says, the Chiefs seemingly unstoppable this afternoon at 82 points to 0. Wasps, they've got 3 players just trudging back towards some semblance of a restart here. It's been a tough afternoon for them. They've kept going though, but the Chiefs have been ruthless. As we say, we'll run down the try scorers. Kate Zachary with 3, Katie Buchanan, Rachel Johnson, Sylvia Turani, Laurie Kramer, Nancy McGillivray, Laura Sheehan 2, Brooke Bradley with 2. It's been relentless from the Exeter Chiefs as Sheehan, that last try scorer, releases Jeffries with ball in hand. Leg drive there, aided by 2 or 3 of her teammates before she eventually goes to ground. McDonald is going in barking orders. Can't quite work that one out, and it's Charlie Jacoby punished it, turned around there for mouthing off. But I'm confused by that one, Claudia. That was a leg drive going forward.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused by that one as well. The ref also not allowing any time there for the ball to come back and be playable. But look at Exeter. I mean, they're about 20 metres back from where that penalty is now being given. So you talk about responses. You know, they've just given away what was I assume a free kick or a scrum to then a penalty for back chat. But then they're back. They're all back, all ready for the play. 20 metres behind 10 metres behind where they have to be. But perhaps painting good pictures for the ref. They want to win her back on side.
So it's Alana Bainbridge with this line out for the visitors. Goes to the front, finds the captain Liz Craik, who's mobbed immediately by at least 2 or 3. Referees has her arm out, says the Chiefs have done that illegally. And they come back inside now to the number 6, Chris Blanco. She's taken to floor as Wasps trying to make inroads, but they're just being met by a black wall all afternoon. Abby Middlebrook, the latest to provide the resistance. Now they're going to come back again for this penalty. Abby Fleming, I think, was the one singled out. She was trying to get through illegally, maybe crabbing around the side of that line out.
Yeah, a bit frustrating there, I guess. This point of the game, I know it's coming to the end. We were up 82-0, but we're talking about clinical nursing and decision making in areas of the pitch. And actually, in a tighter game and in a more competitive game, giving away a penalty here is huge. You go from defending outside your 22 to potentially giving away a 5-metre line out and potentially 7 points with that. So you put yourselves under a lot of pressure by doing that. So it's unfortunate to see those errors creeping in, but hopefully we can sort of come back into this.
That can be a bit of a coach killer sometimes. No easy ins do you give, is it? You know, but well done, awesome there from Nick Friday, stealing that Wasp line out, and Poppy Leach tried to do her best bit of a box kick there. Referee says penalty for holding on by Laura Sheehan. And Craig will try and get a consolation at least for the visitors. She's charging her way towards the try line. Almost there, a metre or so out. Slow ball for the visitors who drive over. Held by the back wall. There are bodies everywhere. And over she goes. And give them credit. They've kept going and they've got a bit of a reward there at the end.
Yeah, credit where credit's due. You know, the work rate from Wasps has been outstanding. You talk about versatility from them as well, and they've actually got 5 front rowers on the pitch today. You've got Chris Blanco, who plays hooker for Spain, who started today at number 6, and Liz Craik, of course, the loose head, tight head, second row. Not sure where she plays, but playing 8 today. So, and you know, none of those girls have come off the pitch. They've worked incredibly hard. Danica playing a full 18 minutes as a loose head prop has just been outstanding. So, the work rate from Wasps, you know, deserving of that final try. I think Chiefs, rightfully so, are going to be disappointed to have given those points away at the last minute, and from silly errors, really. I mean, Poppy Leach rushing and trying to put that ball into touch, perhaps just leave players to do what players are best at doing and secure that ball and allow a 9 to put that into touch, and suddenly you're not under pressure anymore. But yeah, just, you know, we spoke about those breakdowns throughout the whole 80 minutes, about how we had to look after our own attacking breakdowns. Actually, that was what was allowing Wasps into this game and not creating that platform, that fast ball that we need to be able to shift the ball and play out wide. And that's exactly how we just conceded a try to Wasps, was not looking after our own breakdowns, not clearing out the Wasp defenders, and all of a sudden you're looking at a score of 82-7. Obviously a formidable win for Chiefs, but they're gonna be disappointed with that final couple of minutes.
Well, that is the final whistle here at Sandy Park in what is the last home game of the regular season here. Chiefs wrapping it up with an 82-7 victory over Wasps. It sets them up nicely for next week's final game of the regular season up at Gloucester, and then all being well, we'll be here in a couple of weeks' time for that semi-final. Just wrap up the overall performance. What's your thoughts on it, Claudia? What did you make of today?
Yeah, I think on the whole, it's been brilliant. I think it's highlighted a few things that we need to tidy up on, but more importantly, what it's done is it's proven that this team can come back from 2 losses in a row, 2 hard games, and put out a performance like that, and a win like that is massive, and it shows the camaraderie, the hard work, the resilience within this squad, and that's all going to be so important for the final few games of the season, and hopefully a semi-final, and who knows, maybe even a final. But that's what's going to get us through those games, and that's what's going to get us winning this league. So I think hugely important, and an overall brilliant performance from Chiefs.
As the tunes of Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline belt out around here at the moment, it's fantastic to see that the Chiefs have wrapped up today's performance. And I've got to say a big thank you to Claudia for stepping in alongside me this afternoon and offering the co-coms. We will be back, as we say, in a couple of weeks' time with the latest stream of the semi-final. So until then, thanks very much for listening and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.